I don't think God's gonna even want to talk to you.
Well, what if you're God and you come here to this incredible place you created called planet Earth, and you walk up to one of your creations and you say, hey, creation, how you liking this thing I created for you? And the person says, God, I'm glad you showed up because I got a bone to pick with you. I mean, first of all, why do you make it so effing hot all the time? I mean, you could have made it 72 degrees year-round here. I mean, it's insane. And then you make these stupid people that get in my way and interfere with what I'm trying to accomplish. Why wouldn't you make everybody nice and connected? And you make these little red ants, and they bite my ass. I mean, why would you create such a thing if you're God? And then God goes to one of his other creations and says, how are you liking this place? And they say, oh, God, oh, thank God you're here. I've always wanted to thank you directly. This is the most amazing paradise. It's so unbelievable. First of all, you never get bored because you're always changing the temperature. It's so amazing. You bring so many people to challenge me to grow. And you made these little red ants. Man, these things are courageous. They're 1/1,000,000th my size and they bite my ass. It's amazing. You know. Now the question is, if you were God, who do you want to hang out with, the first person or the second one?
Wow.
So I tell people, say there is no God. I said there's God. You just so much, I just want to hang out with you.
Those I can't catch a break guys.
Yeah.
Get them the fuck away from me. I can't be around those guys. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that. I don't buy it because everybody has bad breaks.
Yeah.
I've had a ton of bad breaks, but you know what I did? I stayed up.
Yeah.
And I thought through it, and I figured out what the fuck I did wrong, and then I went back. It's like I fucked up everything I've ever done 100 times. There's no other way to do it. And I've had a bunch of shitty breaks. Everybody has. But you got to realize when you have those shitty breaks what that is. It's an opportunity for you to reassess, reboot, get better, figure out another way, find another way through. It's just little challenges. And the people that look at those challenges and go, why do I always have these challenges? They're cancer. Those people are dangerous to be around. They will rob you of your enthusiasm. They don't give you any fuel. They're the opposite of fuel.
Yeah.
Like the fuel people,
They're the hole in
the
the
people
tank.
that are kicking ass, the people that are out there just hustling, always getting things done. The guy, like my friend Jocko, every morning I'll check his Instagram page, 4:30, shows a picture of his watch, get after it. He's out there working out 4:30 in the morning. He does it every fucking morning. Why? Because he doesn't want to. And that's how you do it. You go and get after it. You don't make any excuses. And those kind of guys are fuel. But those I can't catch a break guys, they're the opposite of fuel. They're just pissing on your fire. They're no fun. And then the people that surround them are all idiots. Because only idiots want to be around I can't catch a break guys.
Yeah.
Only the dummies stick around. After a while, even if they're your good friend, you got to be like, bro, you got to stop. You got to stop with all this I can't catch a break bullshit. All the time you're complaining, you could be instead hustling. You could be instead chasing your dream. You could be instead figuring out what you're doing wrong, trying to improve certain aspects of your life, getting your shit together, reading a book, meditating, something. Fucking something. But this I can't catch a break shit is not helping anybody, and it pushes everybody away from you.
Stop complaining about the results you didn't get from the work you didn't put in. The only way to become more successful than most people is to be willing to do something most people aren't willing to do.
In my early days, I would spend a very long time in front of a computer telling myself that I was working with very few minutes actually on task. And that's why I think that most things are actually significantly easier than people think they are. They just don't know how to try hard. Because the harder that you try, the easier it gets. And so it's like, if you can just learn to love what trying hard feels like, then all of a sudden it becomes unreasonable that you can't win. Charlie Munger, in one of his seminal speeches, he talks about how to guarantee failure, how to make sure that you are a failure. One of the ones that he has, I think he has 7 in his speech, is consistency. He's like, you have to make sure that you're inconsistent. He's like, because if you are consistent and you have none of the other attributes, he's like, you still might be successful. He's like, it's very tough for people who are consistent to not be successful. And he makes an especially pointed point about consistency because, in my opinion, it's one of the most difficult of the virtues for humans to do because we're so attracted to novelty. And so, like, I mean, I used to deal with this with, people on their diets all the time. I remember I ran gyms. And so someone would come in and I would always ask the question, so have you been following the meal plan? And then they would say, yes. And so then I started changing the way I asked the question. So I'd say, out of the 21 meals that you were supposed to eat, how many of the 21 did you have exactly the way it was on the meal plan? And then they would be like, oh, I mean, at least half. And they would say it as though that was a mark of success. And right now, the meal plan could be your content plan. It could be your showing up to work on time plan. It could be the time that you want to put towards your side hustle. It doesn't really matter. But if there's one muscle that you can flex, it's learning to do the same thing over and over again. Like one of the values that we had at Gym Launch is do the boring work, because boring is what makes you rich. And then you do those things. What happens is you realize that it's actually not that hard because you put so much work into it, and the bar from other people working is so embarrassingly low that they then ask you how you did it, and it must be easy.
But really what it's all about is just getting your shit together and moving. Just go do something. Like what you did by taking a job when you would show up at a gig and you'd be working there Tuesday through Sunday and then take a day job and work 9 to 5. That is more hustle and more hustle mindset than anything you're ever going to get out of an Anthony Robbins book. Like that is like just doing it. Just doing it makes you do more. Like do more hard shit makes you do more hard shit.
Yeah.
Understanding that you want it bad, so you're willing to put into work and do things you don't want to do. It's what makes you have the confidence that you know how to push through, and the mentality that I'm the type of dude to get shit done. Like I'm not gonna waste my day just sitting around a hotel room. No, I'm gonna go to work. I'm gonna work all day. I'm gonna drive 5 hours and keep that radio gig, and then drive 5 hours and spend 10 hours of the 24 in a day in a goddamn car
Ford
to
Focus.
do gigs. Ford